She waited to see if I needed help. So I guess I should ease everyone's minds. I'm 38 and a half weeks pregnant. I'm okay. The car seat's in the car and the bag's packed just in case. So I'm just glad to be here, really. Well, let me just basically tell you about Weekend Wedding Warrior and how I never ever thought that this was going to be my career path. And I never thought I was going to be a woman business owner, honestly. About 6 years ago now, I started, well, first off, I was living in Louisiana. I was a marriage and family therapist, and I was engaged to an Army officer. And we were planning our wedding in Western New York State, which is my hometown area. And, you know, I loved planning my wedding. I loved all the details, and I knew exactly what I wanted. However, I never really thought about how that actual wedding day was gonna run and how it was gonna go. And I'll never forget standing about to walk down the aisle, you know, bridesmaids lined up in front of me and so excited to see my fiance for the first time that day. And the first bridesmaid turns around to me and goes, "Do I go now? Do I walk now down the aisle?" And I was like, wait, why is she asking me? Like, I'm still in charge. I've got my dad on my arm. I mean, I'm so excited. I can't even like hear the music at this point. So, you know, that's really where I started to think someone else should be in charge of this. You should be able to plan your own wedding, but someone else should be able to take it over and work your wedding for you so you don't have to. And that's really the first inkling where Weekend Wedding Warrior even started. This idea that you could plan your wedding but not work it, and your family and friends don't have to work it either. So the first year of my marriage with my husband honestly was a really difficult one for us. My husband was active duty Army, and we were separated for about 15 or 16 months right after we were married. So he had a 3-month training, and then he did a full year in Afghanistan. And so, as you can imagine, I was a therapist at the time. I really struggled having empathy and energy for other families and couples because I was struggling so deeply. And I needed something in my life that was a little more positive. I needed something in my life that, you know, really made me feel good about what I was doing. And event coordination and wedding coordination was something I was always interested in. And it was always something I really thought, hey, could I do this? And I think my family thought I was insane. I mean, here I am with a master's degree from Northwestern University, and I'm studying wedding etiquette. I mean, what am I doing, right? But I loved it, and I loved, you know, every step of learning about that. So when my husband returned, and we moved here to Louisville because he was stationed at Fort Knox, that's when I really decided to take my wedding coordination idea to this next level. When I moved here, there's all these great wedding planning companies, and they were awesome. I mean, they do such a great job still today. But no one, you know, they were kind of all jack of all trades. No one was this expert at one thing, and no one was doing just logistics. And that's where I really thought, you know, we need to do one thing. You plan your wedding, and we'll make it happen. And that's what I needed for my wedding day. And that's really how Weekend Wedding Warrior was born and how it was started. So now I'm standing here 4 years later from moving to Louisville, and, you know, I just have this successful business, and I own it. And it's so amazing to me still to this day that is something that I do, and I wake up so excited every day to do this job. And in 2013 alone, we helped 50 couples have a stress-free wedding day where they could focus solely on each other and the families could be present together. But also owning my own business, something that I'm really proud of is that I can, you know, contract these other women as event and wedding warriors who can help to help to support their families in a way that they might not be able to do in a traditional job. And then what I'm really, really most proud of is that now I'm able to financially support my very soon to be growing family while my husband goes back to school, and he went from active duty to reserves. So now he's able to go back to school and pursue his dream, which is something that, you know, his service really is, with his service he really deserves. So none of this would have been possible without really just taking a chance, without doing something that no one else in this area was doing, and ultimately without owning my own business. So thank you so much.